Hello, my name's Sean Robertson, manager of the Florissant Civic Center Theatre, and welcome to On Cue. For those of you not familiar with the show, we like to bring some people on from local community theater groups and tell you about what's going on at the Florissant Civic Center Theatre. Today we're going to be discussing the Alpha Players production of My Three Angels. My Three Angels is a comedy play by Samuel and Bella Spewak, and the production opened on Broadway in 1953, and it's based on a play by Albert Husson. Today I'm joined by two members of the Alpha Players. I have the co-director, Sharon Kotner, and Carl Bachmeyer, who plays Joseph in the upcoming production. So thank you guys for being here. Welcome. Let's talk about this show, or we should also get to know you guys. Sharon, you've been on the show many times before, and Carl, I believe this is your third time on, or?
Well, it's my second time here.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've been in a couple of shows with Alpha Players now. Right. I think most recently you were in, was it To Kill a Mockingbird?
Well, I was in To Kill a Mockingbird 2 years ago, but more recently I was in the Christmas play that was performed.
That was The Shoemaker?
Santa and the Shoemaker.
Okay,
yeah.
Yes.
I was the evil landlord.
You were the evil landlord, that's correct. All right, yeah. I've already forgotten shows already, you know, I see so many over the years. So tell us about My Three Angels, because there's not a lot of information out there if you're looking to find out stuff about it, as I found out. So please tell us some things we need to know about this show.
Well, it's a very family-friendly show. If you've ever seen a movie called We're No Angels with Humphrey Bogart and
Peter Ustinov
and Aldo Ray, it's very similar to that.
It's the same plot line.
General,
yeah. Same general
It tells
plot
a story. It's set in 1910 French Guiana, and it tells the story of three convicts who, by fate, come into the general store of a man named Felix Ducatel. And Felix is struggling with his shop. And the gentlemen come in with the intent originally of robbing it. And instead, they become involved and fall in love with the family and end up helping the family and helping Felix save his shop from some very not so nice relatives who want to take his shop and kick him out. So they use all of their criminal wiles between forgery and extortion and a little murder.
Family friendly.
Yeah, it is family friendly. It is. It is. It's cute.
You're the co-director, I found out. Who also is directing the show?
Tanya Burns is directing with me.
Okay, and Tanya's directed other shows and been in many shows throughout the community, and she's also is she the president of Alpha Players
She is
now?
the current president of Alpha.
And Carl, you've been doing shows with the Alpha Players. Have you worked with other community theater groups in the area? Or?
Yes, well, I worked with the Clayton Community Theater. That was the first show that I did before Mockingbird. I was in I was Inspector Belsize. What was the name of the show now? I can't remember, but yeah,
That's all
that was a while ago. But we moved from Illinois, so most of my acting career was in Illinois. Yeah.
And Sharon, what can you tell us about like the setting of the show? And you said French Guiana.
It's French Guiana. It's 1910.
And more specifically, it's Devil's Island.
It's Devil's Island. And it is Christmas time.
Christmas time, okay.
And it is, as they say in the show, the temperature has graciously dropped to 104 degrees for Christmas.
I think we could all appreciate that right now.
It's been fun rehearsing in the warehouse.
Yes, we have a rehearsal studio that is not as heated as one would like.
Oh, wow.
So it's been chilly in there, and I have them mopping their
and she
brows.
keeps saying, "You remember it's 104 degrees." Yeah, right, Sharon.
Tell us about some of the characters in the show. You said there's the three convicts. There's the shop owner.
There's his wife.
All right. Is there like any romance story involved, or sort of, or maybe we shouldn't be giving that away?
No,
okay.
The shop owner and his wife have a daughter,
Okay.
Marie Louise, and she is in love with Paul, and Paul is the ward of her father's cousin. And Paul and her father's cousin, Henri, are the ones that wish to take over their store.
Okay.
So she's in love with him, but we're
There's
not
some
sure if
conflicts.
it's really reciprocated.
Okay. Do we have any familiar faces gracing the stage in this show? Some traditional Alpha Player members?
Yeah, we have a few. We have George Lewandowski, who's done a lot of our shows.
George is in many shows.
Yes, he is. Tom Stone,
Okay.
who has directed for us and been in several
Yes.
shows. He's one of the convicts. Nathan
Yeah,
Johnston.
that looks fitting for Tom. No. I think he can pass that part. That was that typecast? Yeah, for him.
I'm not saying
No. I'm sorry, Tom. No.
And Nathan Johnston, who is also one of the convicts, who was previously in Les Mis and Shoemaker, and there was something else. But Dorothy LaBounty, who was in To Kill a Mockingbird for us, she plays the wife. And then we have some new people. We have Caitlin Moody, who is the daughter, and Antonio Vaghi, who is Paul. Jim Bradley is Uncle Henri, and he was just in Bells Are Ringing.
Okay.
And then Jack Ryan Petey, who's done several of our shows and was on our board, is
Often works backstage in many different facets.
many different positions, and he's the lieutenant who comes in at the end. So we've got a lot of people.
Who's doing your technical side of things?
Technical side, we have Alicia Brooks, who is also done a lot of our shows, and she's going to be the stage manager.
Okay.
And June Spilker, who will be helping with props, and Barb Langa, who's done a lot of our onstage stuff and done costumes. She will be doing the costumes again. So, and then we've got like Greg Jeffrey and Ron Burns and those folks help building sets.
I haven't seen Greg in a while. It would be nice to work with them again. And Ron is always there helping build and haul scenery and whatever else you can get him to do, or whatever you can't get him to do. You have to almost push him away from doing
They're
too
always
much.
very, very, very helpful.
Yes, absolutely. We should tell people when this show is actually going on. It's March 15th and 16th, and the 22nd and 23rd. Those are Friday and Saturday nights, all at 7:30. And it will close on March 24th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $18 for adults, $16 for students, and $12 for children 10 and under. There's also, on the March 23rd, there's a student special where you'll get the children's ticket. So if you act like a child, you might get a children's ticket there if you're lucky. This is the second show in your season, but you also have one coming up, I believe, in May.
Yes.
And what is that?
That show is Exit Laughing by Paul Elliott. It's a fairly new show. It was actually in the American Association of Community Theaters contest winner, originally done by Springfield Little Theater. And it is it's a what I call a laugh out loud comedy. It tells the story of these 4 women, one of whom passes away, who regularly meet for bridge. They play cards every week, and they're real characters. And they decide on the night. The one decides that on the night that they're going to have their usual bridge game, she's going to go and steal the ashes of the one who has deceased and bring her to the card game also. And the police come. And it deteriorates from there.
All right.
It's a crazy comedy. It's been a hit everywhere it's gone. We have a lot of interest already in buying tickets for that show. It is not suitable for children.
Okay.
I don't think it's quite right for kids, especially 13 and under. I would say it's probably a PG-13 rating if you had to give it a rating. And it is May 17th, 18th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So anybody that's part of a group has old friends is going to relate to what happens in this show.
Right. For tickets, you can always call the theater box office at area code 314-921-5678. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or you can order tickets online through the City of Florissant, www.florissantmo.com. That'll take you to the ThunderTix website where you can order tickets there. We always suggest that you give us a call for tickets because you're going to have to pay more if you order online for those service fees. So trust me there. Also, the box office on the night of the show and days of the show is always open 1 hour prior to showtime, so you can pick your tickets up there, and we'll make all accommodations for you. You know, if you let us know, we can make it happen. Also, for more information on the Alpha Players, you can check them out at www.alphaplayers.org. And what else do we need to say about this show? Anything, little final words you'd like to?
Am I Three Angels?
Yes.
I think it's a great show. It's a great show for the time period.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's sweet. It's entertaining. It tells a good story. And when all of those March winds are swirling around Florissant, it'll be nice to step into the theater and have a little bit of 104 degrees.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Carl, you got any final words for us? Or
Well, Sharon forgot to mention one very important character.
oh,
But yeah, and a very important character. I'm not going to say anything more than his name is Dear Little Adolphe. And if you want to meet Adolphe, come and see the show. You know?
now, Adolphe isn't necessarily a human character, is it?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Okay. I do know a little bit about the show. You might want to check that out. But if you're, yeah, check that out. It's going to be a little wild up there on stage. Now, one of the last things I like to say about the community theater here in general in Florissant, we have a lot of community theater groups and a lot of people that work very hard on all these productions. They're made up of volunteers. They volunteer their time and away from their home, their families, and their jobs, hopefully not too much of all of those together, and in order to bring the arts to the community here. And you know, and it's professional quality theater right here in our backyard in Florissant. So come out to the Florissant Civic Center Theatre, support the arts in the community, and if anybody tries to take the arts away from your community, please stand up to them and tell them, you know, that can't happen. So thanks again for being with us today. Stay tuned for the calendar of events. Welcome back to the calendar segment. Coming up at the Florissant Civic Center Theatre in March, the St. Louis Family Theater Series presents The Ugly Duckling by Corbian and Lightwire Theater. Lightwire Theater brings a classic tale to the modern stage in an unforgettable theatrical experience. Lined with electroluminescent wire, the beloved story of The Ugly Duckling plays out on stage through a cutting-edge blend of puppetry, technology, and dance. Dazzling visuals, poignant choreography, and the creative use of music from classical to pop. This production brings this story into a whole new brilliant light. And that's March 3rd at 2 p.m., March 8th, that's a Friday night at 7:30 p.m., and March 9th at 2 p.m. And give us a call at our box office about certain ticket specials for that production, and we might be able to help you out. Admission is $8 to all, and that's once again coming up in March. Also coming up in March, as you've just seen, the Alpha Players, My Three Angels. It's 1910 French Guiana, and on Christmas Day, the temperature has graciously dropped to 104 degrees. Three convicts from a local penal colony stumble upon a family in dire need of a little angelic assistance, and to fend off a group of unscrupulous relatives. Possessing every criminal art, and with the help of Adolf, a poisonous snake, the three go about setting matters right and doing so redeem themselves as real-life angels to a grateful family. Admission is $18 for adults, $16 for seniors and students, and $12 for children 10 and under. Coming up in April, the Hawthorne Players present A New Brain. Music and lyrics by William Finn, a book by William Finn and James Lapine. It's an energetic, sardonic, often comical musical about a composer during a medical emergency. Gordon collapses into his lunch and awakes in the hospital surrounded by his seafaring lover, his mother, a co-worker, the doctor, and the nurses. Reluctantly, he had been composing a song for a children's television show that features a frog, Mr. Bungie. The specter of this large green character and the unfinished work haunts him throughout his medical ordeal. And that show opens April 5th and runs April 6th, April 12th, and 13th at 7:30 p.m. and closes April 14th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $20 for adults and $18 for seniors and students. The Florissant Fine Arts Council will present Nat King Cole, An Unforgettable Century, brought to us by CMI Entertainment for one afternoon only on April 28th at 2 p.m. The year 2019 will mark the 100th anniversary of the birth of Nat King Cole. It's unforgettable in every way if you come and see this show. It'll take a closer look at some of his music, and it'll feature Joe Bourne and his trio playing all the greats from Nat King Cole. You're not going to want to miss this show. Tickets are $28 for adults, $26 for seniors. We also have a special $13 student price with ID. We also had a schedule change recently due to our ice and snow that we've had this winter. We had to reschedule the St. Louis Theater musicians. We couldn't have those musicians traveling on those icy roads here in St. Louis, so we have rescheduled that to the Monday, May 27th at 2 p.m. That's Memorial Day, so we've got a special Memorial Day concert with the St. Louis Theater musicians of St. Louis, featuring Charles Glenn and Patricia Scanlon as the featured vocalists. And they will be doing songs from Broadway, but because we've changed it to Memorial Day, there will also be a patriotic theme going on that day. You're not going to want to miss that. That's May 27th, Memorial Day at 2 p.m. Later this spring, we will have the return of the Valley of Flowers. We will have the Zope Italian Family Circus. We will have everybody's favorite musician, Babalu, Music and Fun, and this is all stuff for the kids. It's the children's celebration of the performing arts done at the James J. Egan Center right there on the park grounds. One of the other performers we'll have for the kids is a guy named Chef Bananas. He's a local magician, comedian, and you're not going to want to miss old Chef Bananas. He looks like it's going to be a fun time. We will return with the Music Under the Stars this summer. We have booked some of our favorite bands, and they will be back. Groups like Smash Band, Butchwax and the Hollywoods, Billy Peak, Rockin' Chair, Steve Ewing are all some of the groups that we'll see this summer. Also in May, the same day as the Valley Flowers, the Northwinds Concert Band will present their spring concert. That'll be May 4th. The Alpha Players will present Exit Laughing May 17th, 18th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. We do want to let you know about some of the things at our theater coming up that some people you may not know about. The Florissant Civic Center Theatre is handicap accessible, and we can make all arrangements for any people, that if they have any special needs. We have free hearing devices for anyone that asks. Give us a call. We can make arrangements prior to. If you want tickets to any of our shows, give us a call, 921-5678, or visit us online at www.florissantmo.com for tickets. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and I suggest giving us a call, because if you order online, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. So we always want to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. Don't miss out on all these great things that we've got going on here in the city of Florissant. My name's Sean Robertson. Thanks again for watching On Cue.